So we would have to do that for the dates.
When you're
We would have to
talking about,
request.
if in the amendment it is specific to say that a license shall expire 1 year from the date of expiration, that's when it expires. If you want to change it to a fiscal year cycle, it's going to have to be done legislatively.
And then the name of the individual who holds a license and the address of the individual who holds a license. What were your comments on
I just, I would think we wouldn't want the address necessarily of the individual that holds a license so much as the address of where the facility physically is. Just someone could be a business owner, but they may not want their home address. We'd actually want the address of where the place of business is. And that would be just something I was wondering if that would make this a better way to do it.
Mary Robin, we can clarify something. It says no person, isn't it supposed to be business?
It does say, I believe,
Or
in the amendment
corporation.
that it's got to be an Arkansas
Corporation,
corporate
yes.
entity. So those changes can be made.
that? So instead of saying the name, the corporation who holds the license.
Sure.
The address. The other thing is, could we add the geographic, because geographic locations, is that appropriate too?
So you guys have
As a
made
part
that
of that.
motion
Yeah,
already.
okay, great.
And this was created as a sort of a working document. It is a working document. And as you make changes and motions, it will be amended to reflect those changes. This was just to give you a starting point.
Okay.
So then to clean this up, so we can, then I would make a motion that we change under 1B2, the address, instead of it saying the individual, would be the address of the corporation that holds the license. So that would be one change there. And the second change I would put on the motion is the effective date of the license, the effective date of the license to include the date that it was issued and the date that it would expire. So that information would have to be on there.
If I could add, the other thing I think that would be important is if it's going to be a corporation, an LLC, an incorporation, one or the other, I do think we're going to get into, and I think we'll get into some of this later, but I think we need to make sure that we have the officers, directors, members, we need to know who those people are. And I think we ought to have some of that required right there, as, as a.
I think
I think it's covered
Part of this.
in a later part of these regulations. It is covered in there specifically that the corporation has to list all the members and names and addresses of individuals. So we'll move on.
And I think that's part of the intent of the individual, because obviously we want the corporation, but we also want to be able to hold the individual behind that corporation responsible.
We should either, I would think, do both,
Right.
or, no, obviously when we do the corporation, they apply for the license, all the information of each owner, you read onto that thing, it kind of is covered under the application process. When you put an application on the, like whoever owns the company, they have an agent or representative, and that's, so if we know the corporation, we're gonna know everyone that owns it, or they won't get a license, so.
All right.
There's some professions where they not only have the ownership that's responsible, but they also have a person that is responsible for the license itself, and that way if there are issues, that person is held responsible in addition to the corporation. That's why I think it's great to have both.
I would go with both. And easy thing to do it now, be easy. I'll add to the motion, we'll
Yeah.
add the
You add that.
individuals and the corporate location.
Is there anything under license requirement?
Motion was made.
I have a question here on